zvuku, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, skúška zvuku, počujete všetci? Ešte? 1, 2, 3, skúška zvuku. Pôjde? OK. 1, 2, 3, ale to je asi jedno, nie? Tie zvuky sú... Hej.
Okay, so this is translation for English. English 1 1 1 test 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 test. Yeah, it's good. Uh-huh. Okay, so
Dobrý deň, dámy a páni. Vítam vás na tlačovej konferencii po spoločnom rokovaní predsedu vlády Slovenskej republiky Roberta Fica a ministra zahraničných vecí Spojených štátov amerických Marka Rubia. Pán premiér, nech sa páči, odovzdávam vám slovo.
Ďakujem pekne.
Thank you.
Does it work? Okay, perfect. Vážený pán minister zahraničných vecí Spojených štátov amerických,
Secretary of State,
drahý Mark Rubio, dovolte mi, aby som vás privítal ešte raz aj s vašou delegáciou v Bratislave na úrade vlády Slovenskej republiky. Vážené dámy a páni, absolvovali sme spoločne s pánom ministrom najskôr krátke tête-à-tête stretnutie a potom sme rokovali v delegáciách, kde sme do väčších detailov rozoberali témy, ktoré sú podstatou celého našeho dnešného rokovania. Pokúsim sa veľmi stručne zhrnúť závery našich rozhovorov, či už medzi štyri očami, alebo v delegáciách. Poprvé si veľmi vážim, že táto návšteva prichádza krátko po našom stretnutí na Floride, kde som mal možnosť hovoriť s prezidentom Spojených štátov amerických, pánom Trumpom, za prítomnosti pána Rubia. Preto je to vynikajúci follow-up, je to výborné pokračovanie a mohli sme si krátko potom, ako sme sa videli na Floride, povedať, kam sme sa dostali za niekoľko týždňov v témach, o ktorých sme spoločne hovorili. Za najpodstatnejšie z dnešného stretnutia, vážený pán minister, považujem to, že sa navzájom rešpektujeme. Zdôraznil som, že som predstaviteľom vlády, ktorá chce robiť suverénnu slovenskú zahraničnú politiku, orientovanú na všetky štyri svetové strany. Zdôraznil som, že mojou základnou prioritou nie je ochraňovať národné a národno-štátne záujmy iných, ale že základnou povinnosťou mojou je ochraňovať národné a národno-štátne záujmy Slovenskej republiky. A myslím si, že je správne porozumenie, že všade tam, kde sa naše záujmy spájajú, vystupujeme ako spojenci. Tam, kde máme rozdielne názory, nás tu nutí rokovať, negociovať a nájsť primerané riešenie. Myslím si, že patrím medzi politikov, ktorí sú v rozhovoroch vždy veľmi otvorení a robím všetko preto, aby som to isté, čo hovorím na stretnutiach súkromných, hovoril aj verejne, preto aj teraz mi dovolte pár záverov, presne tak, ako boli formulované, ako sme si ich s pánom ministrom zahraničných vecí vymenili. Slovensku záleží na spolupráci so Spojenými štátmi v oblasti jadrovej energetiky. 13. februára nadobudla účinnosť medzivládna dohoda medzi Spojenými štátmi a Slovenskom, pokiaľ ide o spoluprácu v oblasti jadrovej energetiky. Informoval som pána ministra zahraničných vecí, kde sa nachádzame. Máme obrovský záujem pod hlavičkou amerického partnera vytvoriť nadnárodné konzorcium, ktoré by zagarantovalo, že Slovensko do roku 2040 by mohlo postaviť ďalší jadrový blok o výkone 1200 MW. A tešíme sa, ak sa nám podarí v priebehu budúceho roku podpísať už konkrétne dohody so spoločnosťou Westinghouse. Rovnako som požiadal samozrejme našich amerických partnerov aj o spoluprácu už v týchto štádiách prípravy tohto projektu, pretože je to projekt, ktorý sa vymýka z rámca Slovenska, dotýka sa aj celej Európskej únie, preto intenzívne rozhovory s našimi európskymi partnermi budú nevyhnutné a v tomto budeme potrebovať spoluprácu partnerov amerických. Keď sme pri energetike, informoval som pána ministra zahraničných vecí o tom, čo sa deje v tomto regióne, pokiaľ ide o plyn a ropu.
regarding gas and oil.
Nebudem zachádzať
not
ďaleko a do
Too
detailov.
deep, or I will not
Môžem
get into
však len
details,
povedať, že
but I can state
Slovensko ako krajina,
that
ktorá vždy
Slovakia
bola
as a
na
country
začiatku
that
rôznych
has
potrubí,
always
či
been
išlo o
at the beginning
ropu
of
alebo
any
išlo o
pipeline,
plyn,
be it gas or
sa
oil,
dostalo na
ended
koniec
up
týchto potrubí.
at their end.
Sme v nezávideniahodnej pozícii kvôli
Truly
ideologickým a
in a
škodlivým
not so good
rozhodnutiam
situation
Európskej
because of
únie, najmä
ideological
teraz
and bad
hovorím o
decisions
rozhodnutí
of
Repower
European
EU,
Union. I'm
ktoré
mentioning
zastavuje
Repower
napríklad
EU,
toky
which
akéhokoľvek plynu
stops flow of
z
any
východu do
sort of
Európy,
gas
počnúc
from east to
v
Europe.
našom prípade
And
1.
in
novembrom
our case, from
2027.
1st November
Hľadali sme spolu
2027.
rôzne
Together,
alternatívy
we're looking for
a ja
potential
sa naozaj
alternatives
domnievam,
and
že aj
solutions.
zajtrajšie
And
stretnutie s
I
predsedom maďarskej
believe
vlády
that tomorrow's meeting
má Slovensko svoje originálne,
in
neopakovateľné
this
postoje,
regard,
ktoré sa
Slovakia has its
nevždy
unique
zhodujú
and
s
unrepeatable
postojmi
positions that do
našich
not always
partnerov v
reflect the
Európskej
positions
únii,
of our European
ale to je tá
partners
naša
in the EU.
otvorenosť, to je tá naša
That's
priamosť
our openness
a
and
to je
directness.
realizácia suverénnej
And
politiky
that's
na
the
všetky štyri
implementation of
svetové
the
strany.
foreign policy in
Jasne
all
som
four
povedal
corners of the
názor
world. I clearly and openly
pánovi ministrovi zahraničných
told my
vecí,
opinion to the
ako my
Secretary of
vidíme
State
vojnový
about
konflikt.
how we perceive
Myslíme si,
the
že
military conflict.
ešte bude pomerne
And
dlho
we think
pokračovať.
it's going to
Nevidíme
continue
východiska na mierové
for a certain
ukončenie
period of time.
v
We see
krátkom
no
čase.
peace solution
A
in
ponúkol som
short period of time.
Slovensko
Sure.
ako krajinu,
And I offered
ktorá
Slovakia as a
rozumie
country
jazyku aj
which
na Ukrajine,
understands the language
aj v
in
Ruskej
Ukraine
federácii,
and
ako
the Russian
krajinu, ktorá
Federation,
má dobré
as a
spravodajské
country
služby,
which has
ako
good
krajinu,
intelligence
ktorá je
services,
susednou krajinou
as a
Ukrajiny,
country
na
which is a
dobrú
neighbor
výmenu
of Ukraine,
názorov k tejto
to
téme.
exchange
Pán
opinions
minister,
about this
chcem
topic.
oceniť
And dear Secretary,
prístup
I
vašeho
want
prezidenta,
to praise the approach of
lebo
your
to je
president,
prístup
because
človeka,
it's an approach of a
ktorý je veľmi
person
pragmatický a
who's
racionálny
pragmatic and rational.
a chce túto vojnu
And
ukončiť čo
wants to
najrýchlejšie.
end this
Tiež ju
war as
považujeme
soon
za
as possible.
nezmyselnú,
We also
preto ak môže byť Slovensko
consider it
nápomocné v
as
akýchkoľvek
senseless,
mierových
pointless, and if
iniciatívach,
Slovakia
ktoré
can
budú
be
viesť k
of help
ukončeniu
in
tejto vojny,
any
tak sme
peace initiatives
maximálne
that could
na
bring this
príprave.
war to end, we're totally ready for it.
Vážené dámy a páni,
Dear
chcel by
ladies,
som ešte
dear gentlemen,
informovať,
I would like to
že
inform you
počnúc 1.
that
júlom
from 1st July
2026 Slovensko
2026,
preberá predsedníctvo
Slovakia will
vo
share
výnimočnej
presidency of a truly
štruktúre
unique
regionálnej
structure
spolupráce a
of
to je
regional
V4,
cooperation, and that
Vyšehrádska
is
skupina.
V4, Visegrad Group.
Chcel by som
I would like to
potvrdiť slova pána
confirm the
ministra
words
zahraničných
of
vecí,
the Secretary of
že
State.
tento formát by mal byť
This
využívaný nielen na danú regionálnu spoluprácu,
Organization should be used
ale
not
mali by
only
sme
for regional
uvažovať aj
cooperation,
po
but we should
postupnom
think
prizývaní partnerov k témam, ktoré v danom
invitation of
okamihu budú veľmi
partners,
aktuálne.
which in
Preto,
regard
a
to
hovorili sme o tom
current
krátko,
topics that may be
pokiaľ
relevant.
po 1.
We
júli
spoke about this
2026
briefly. If
vznikne
after the
téma,
1st of July
kde
2026
bude
we'll
užitočné
have a
hovoriť vo
topic
formáte
where
V4
it will be of
Spojené štáty
use to
americké
have the US
a budú s tým
join
súhlasiť
V4,
samozrejme partneri vo
and
V4.
the partners in
My budeme
V4 would
pripravení na
agree on
zorganizovanie
this, will be
takýchto
ready
stretnutí.
to
Za
organize
Slovensko hovorím,
such events.
že o takýto formát
I
V4
say this
Spojené
in name
štáty
of Slovakia,
v zásadných
V4
otázkach
plus
zahraničnej
the US and
energetickej
basic
spolupráce
questions of the
máme
international cooperation,
záujem.
energy cooperation, we are
Samozrejme, že sme
interested
si
in this.
vymenili
Of
názory
course,
aj
we
na
also exchange opinions
množstvo
about
iných tém.
lots of different
Chcem
topics.
ešte
And I would like
dodať,
to
že sme
just
členským
add that
štátom
we are
NATO,
member state
sme
of NATO,
partnermi v
we are
Severoatlantickej
partners
aliancii.
in the North Atlantic
My rozumieme
Coalition. We
postoju Spojených
understand
štátov, že
the
Európa sa
stance
musí
of
viac
the
starať
US that
o vlastnú
Europe has to
bezpečnosť.
take care of
Myslím
its
si, že
security
je
more. And I think
veľmi jasné a zrejme, že v
it's
Európe hovoríme o
that
zvyšovaní výdavkov na vlastnú bezpečnosť.
in Europe we
To
speak
je
about
prirodzený vývoj, ku ktorému
increasing
došlo.
expenditures on
A
our
preto
defense.
sme
It's
sa
a
rozprávali aj na
natural
tému,
development of things.
ako
And
ďalej
because of that,
s
we spoke about the
rozpočtami
topic
do
in
budúcich
regards
rokov.
to how to
My musíme
continue with
brať na
our
zreteľ
budgets.
naše možnosti a
in the
schopnosti,
following
ktoré
years,
máme, ale rovnako si uvedomujeme,
We of course
že
have to
Slovensko, keď
take
chce byť súčasťou
care, we have to pay
kolektívnej
attention to our
bezpečnosti v
obligations, but if
Európe a v NATO,
Slovakia wants to be a
tak sa
member of
bude musieť
collective security
zúčastňovať
in Europe and NATO, we have to
aj na
participate
tom, že budeme postupne
also
posilňovať
in
naše
improving
kapacity.
and strengthening our
Chcel by
capacities.
som rovnako
I would
poprosiť o
like to
pochopenie
ask for
v tom, že
understanding in the area
Máme záujem z rozpočtov, ktoré sú určené na vojenské účely, budovať aj projekty duálneho určenia. Nech je dobrým príkladom obrovská vojenská nemocnica, ktorá sa stavia v blízkosti ukrajinských hraníc vo východnej časti Slovenskej republiky. Naďalej bude pokračovať vojenská spolupráca. Viete, že sme obstarali lietadlá F-16 zo Spojených štátov. Je záujem zvýšiť tento počet na 18 kusov, čiže diskutujeme na tému, ako ešte ďalšie 4 lietadlá dostať do letky slovenskej armády, pretože nie je príliš dobrým znakom suverenity, ak náš vzdušný priestor chránia dnes stíhačky Poľska, Maďarska, Českej republiky. Do tejto nezávidenia-hodnej situácie sme sa dostali tým, že došlo k darovaniu vojenskej techniky na Ukrajinu v roku 2020 až 2023. Je tu množstvo iných aspektov vojenskej spolupráce, pretože sme spolu v NATO, o tej hovoril aj podpredseda vlády a minister obrany Robert Kaliňák spolu s pánom ministrom. Diskusie sa zúčastnili aj ďalší členovia slovenskej delegácie, podpredseda vlády, minister životného prostredia, pani podpredsednička vlády, ministerka hospodárstva, ktorá zodpovedala za spoluprácu v oblasti energetiky a samozrejme partner pána ministra zahraničných vecí, minister zahraničných vecí Slovenskej republiky, pán Blanar. Pán minister, ešte raz vítajte na Slovensku. Rozhovor bol otvorený. Ja si myslím, že nikto z nás nič neskrýval. Opäť ste pravdepodobne na Slovensku počuli názory, ktoré bežne nepočujete. Najmä pokiaľ ide o vojnu na Ukrajine, ale na to sme tu, my tu nie sme na to, aby sme našich partnerov klamali alebo zavádzali informáciami, ktoré nevychádzajú z objektívy. Ďakujem, že ste prišli a tešíme sa na ďalšiu spoluprácu.
Ďakujem pekne, pán premiér. Minister zahraničných vecí Spojených štátov amerických.
Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for welcoming us. This is a follow-up, as you said, to a meeting we had not too long ago in Florida, in my home state, with the President of the United States. And in the aftermath of that meeting, we discussed some things during that meeting regarding a specific purchase of airplanes. There were some impediments to it. We were able to resolve those, and we're happy that that got resolved because it's an example of how this direct engagement could lead to more things we can achieve together. In fact, that meeting happened the day after a deal was signed with Westinghouse and with our Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, to lay the groundwork for this energy opportunity, which is so incredible. I use these things only to illustrate the importance of this direct engagement. We both have excellent teams and people that work very hard and communicate all the time, but there is no replacement for that direct level of engagement. And engagement in Central Europe is what you can expect to see more of from the United States of America. Mr. Prime Minister, you mentioned the Visegrad Group, the V4. It is something we are eager to engage with as a forum in which we can find areas where we can work together and achieve cooperation. You mentioned something else, which I don't know why it ever became controversial, but it's important to remind everybody of. It is the view of the President of the United States, President Trump, and of the United States under his presidency, that we expect every country in the world, to act in their national interest. That is what countries are supposed to do. That is what the leaders of their countries are. I don't know why that is like a strange consideration. The fact of the matter is we view policy the exact same way. Now, when our national interests are aligned, when the national interests of the United States, for example, and the national interests of Slovakia are aligned, this is an extraordinary opportunity for cooperation and for partnership. Where there might be some misalignment, well, that's where the relationship comes in. That's where the partnership comes in. That's where we try to accommodate one another and find a way forward. There's nothing controversial about that, at least not as long as President Trump is in the White House. And we believe that within the area of common alignment, there are so many things we can work on together that are good for your country, good for our country, but frankly, good for Europe and good for the world. I also appreciate your input with regards to the war in Ukraine. It is important that we take as many viewpoints. Your viewpoint, and the viewpoint that you've expressed both to me and publicly as well, is one that's informed by both your geography and by your history. And it's a very important point of view to take into account in the broader context. As I said yesterday, in response to some questions in Munich, we view the United States' role as one of trying to facilitate an end to a very deadly, very bloody, very, very costly war with horrible suffering. What's happening in Kyiv right now is horrifying. You know, people in the coldest part of the year, you know, not going without electricity and energy. This is nothing positive about that. The death, regardless of what the numbers are on both sides, way too high. And the president has spent a year at the highest levels of our government trying to find whether we can be facilitators of a negotiated end to this terrible conflict. And it is something that we care about, but it is something you live next door to. You're on the border. You're right there. You face, and not only do you have to face the consequences of the war, but you also have to face the benefits or the consequences of the peace. And so we appreciate your input in that regard. We talked about a lot of things we have an opportunity to work together on. Energy is one of them. I think you have an opportunity as a nation, not just because you can generate energy, to also be in a very advantageous role when it comes to new technologies like artificial intelligence as an example. It's an opportunity there. There's a very energy-dependent industry, and so it's something we can work together on. We're always talking about military sales, and this is important. We're very happy that the F-16 program is your program of choice. We hope you'll consider some others as well that we can work together on, because apart from one of the key components of any country's national interest is the ability to protect their people. There is no more important obligation of any government than the ability to protect your own people and your own nation. This is why, by the way, we talk about the importance of our partners having capabilities in NATO. Every time we say this, people, you know, they go crazy. They think, oh, that means you're going to abandon NATO, you're going to abandon your allies. I think the point we're making is that the stronger our allies are, the stronger we are collectively. The stronger we are collectively. And so we want to play a positive role in that regard, and you're doing many good things in that space, and we want to thank you and want to continue to work with you on that. So there are many things that we have an opportunity to work together on, but first, thank you for receiving me here on a Sunday, and I try never to burden people on Sundays. It's an important day for me because of my faith, and I know for many of you as well, but I thank you for opening this space to us on this day, because we wanted to show, and we are showing, and we are going to show in the weeks and months and years to come, that under President Trump, this administration is going to make not just Slovakia, but Central Europe, a key component of how we engage the continent and the world. And that we are not just going to engage in meetings and pleasantries, but in concrete actions that we will take together in ways that are beneficial to your people and our people, in ways that are beneficial to your country and our country. I'm very excited about this opportunity. I know the President is as well. That's why I'm here. When did we meet? It wasn't too long ago. It was just a few weeks ago.
Yes, a few weeks.
A few weeks, and here we are. So, and we'll be back, and we'll be sending others back. And I think some members of your team are going to be coming to Washington this week to have a conversation. So you're going to get used to seeing us, and you're going to get used to dealing with us, because we're very happy to be here, and we look forward to working with you very closely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ďakujem veľmi pekne. Teraz je priestor pre otázky. Poprosím prvú otázku Slovenskú televíziu.
Dobrý deň, Katarína Chovančáková, Slovenská televízia a rozhlas. Pán minister, Spojené štáty minulý týždeň predali velenie dvoch štruktúr NATO Európanom. Hovorí sa o možnom sťahovaní amerických vojakov z Európy. Zaznievajú názory, že NATO je mŕtve. Aká je pozícia Spojených štátov NATO a v rámci spolupráce Slovenska a Spojených štátov v obrane? Pán premiér, hovorili ste aj o obrannej dohode, ktorej podpísanie ste v minulosti kritizovali. Chceli ste ju zrušiť, potom ste pripustili nejaké zmeny. Bola aj táto téma?
Mention this topic?
Do you want me to go first? Okay. On NATO, yeah, I don't understand. The United States has thousands and thousands of troops deployed to the NATO mission. And we've made very clear, I think it was made very clear at the summit just a few days ago, at the meeting of the defense minister level, we're not leaving NATO. We're not leaving. I mean, we may move a couple thousand troops from one country to another, but this has always been the case. This has always happened. By the way, we are not threatened or feel it is hostile to see NATO grow in its own capabilities, not independent of the United States, in conjunction with the United States. We don't think it's a negative thing that other countries have more influence in NATO, other partner nations have more influence in NATO, or that other countries within NATO have more capability. We view that as a positive. I see it reported yesterday in some places, oh, the Europeans are very upset. They're going to be less dependent on America now. We don't want Europe to be dependent. Now, we're not asking Europe to be a vassal of the United States. We want to be your partner. We want to work with Europe. We want to work with our allies. We want to work in cooperation with you. And our point has been and continues to be, the stronger you are, both on an individual basis in terms of countries and collectively as an alliance, The stronger the members of NATO are, the stronger NATO is. That's not minus the United States, that's just common sense. Okay? If you have an alliance made up of countries, the stronger all those members are, the stronger the alliance is. And we want the alliance to be so strong that no one will ever dare test it. No one will ever dare challenge it. So we welcome any measures that are taken to strengthen the alliance by the individual members, and we see that as a very positive thing.
Chcem len povedať, že
I would just like to mention the question you're asking on the agenda was not on our schedule, but nonetheless the Minister of Defense and Vice Prime Minister will tell you more about those discussions, but today it was not part of our discussion.
Ďakujem pekne.
Thank you very much. Now the second question, Washington Post.
Thanks very much. Mr. Secretary, will the Trump administration consult and inform Congress in advance if it decides to attack Iran or remove the supreme leader? It's a question on the minds of many, given the major potential consequences of a new war in the Middle East. And also, 5 European countries issued a joint statement saying Alexei Navalny was most likely poisoned by a toxin found in South American frog. How come the United States didn't join the statement? Any response to it?
Yeah,
and then, Mr. Prime Minister, sorry to interrupt. Thank you for your hospitality. On Venezuela, you strongly opposed America's removal of Maduro by force, saying it demonstrates a deepening breakdown of the international order. Do you still feel that way, given where we're at now? And also, you've denied saying that you were worried about President Trump's psychological state following your meeting with him in Mar-a-Lago. Can you explain how this was potentially misinterpreted?
Let me go first on your question. I'm not going to talk about attacks on Iran or anything of that nature because the president's made clear he prefers diplomacy and an outcome of negotiated settlement. Now, we're dealing with radical Shia clerics. Okay, we're dealing with people who make geopolitical decisions on the basis of pure theology, and it's a complicated thing. I mean, no one's ever been able to do a successful deal with Iran, but we're going to try. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be traveling. I think they're traveling right now to have important meetings, and we'll see how that turns out. And we'll always comply with the applicable laws of the United States in terms of involving Congress in any decisions. But right now, we're not talking about any of that. We are postured in the region for one simple reason, and that is that we understand that there could be threats to our forces in the region. We've seen them be threatened in the past, and we want to make sure that we have sufficient capacity to defend them if, God forbid, that were to happen. We'll follow whatever the law is on it, and it depends on the circumstance that would lead to it. But right now, we're talking about negotiations. We are focused on negotiations. That's what we're focused on. The president's made that clear. If that changes, it'll be obvious to everyone, and obviously, whatever the law requires us to do, we'll do. With regards to your question about the frog toxin, no, it's a very serious thing. Look, those countries came to that conclusion. They coordinated that. We chose, doesn't mean we disagree with the outcome. It wasn't, our endeavor. Sometimes countries go out and do their thing based on the intelligence they've gathered. We obviously are aware of the report. It's a troubling report. We're aware of that case of Mr. Navalny, and certainly it's, we don't have any reason to question it, or we're not disputing or getting into a fight with these countries over it, but it was their report, and they put that out there. And let me just make one more point, because I think you asked him a question in order to, see if you can get him against us with something about, you criticize. A lot of countries didn't like what we did in Venezuela. That's okay. That was in our national interest. I'm sure there's something he'll do one day that we don't like, and we'll say, hey, we didn't like you did this. So what? That doesn't mean we're not going to be friends, we're not going to be partners, we're not going to be able to cooperate with one another. Countries express their opinion all the time. We have very close allies that didn't like what we did in that regard. I can tell you what, it was successful. We're proud of it. It was necessary because the guy was a narco-terrorist, and we made him a bunch of offers, and he chose to tore them out. And look what's happened in Venezuela in the 6 weeks since he's been gone. Okay, now it's got a long way to go. There's still much work that needs to be done, but I can tell you Venezuela is much better off today than it was 6 weeks ago. So, we're very proud of that project, and, I know some will disagree and didn't like, but irrespective, I think everyone can now agree that Venezuela has an opportunity at a new future that wasn't there 6 weeks ago.
Pán redaktor, ďakujem za vaše otázky a
Thank you very much for your questions, and I have no reason to avoid answering your questions.
Viete, vždy, keď niekomu vadí, ako sa Slovensko suverénne správa,
like this sovereign
tak sa
independent behavior
automaticky
of
snaží
Slovakia, they always
vytvárať
automatically
prekážky
trying to
takémuto
create
suverénnemu
obstacles to
správaniu.
this sovereign independent behavior.
Nebojte sa, nevyhnem sa vašej
Don't be
otázke,
afraid.
len
I'll not
použijem
avoid your
iný
question.
príklad.
I'm just going to use another example.
Rozhodol som sa
I
suverénne
decided
v
independently,
duchu našej
sovereignly,
suverénnej
in the
politiky,
name
že sa
of our sovereign
zúčastním
policy,
na oslavách
to
80.
participate
výročia
in celebration of the 80th
konca druhej
anniversary
svetovej vojny a
of the
víťazstva
end
nad
of Second
fašizmom v
World
Moskve.
War and win against
Mal som na to
fascism
1000
in
dobrých dôvodov,
Moscow. I
pretože
have thousands of good reasons for that
bola
because
to Červená armáda,
it
ktorá
was the Red
oslobodzovala
Army
Slovensko v rokoch
that liberated
44
Slovakia
a
in
45.
1944 and
Či
1945.
veríte alebo neveríte,
Believe it or not,
ale dva členské štáty
but
Európskej
two
únie,
member states of the EU,
dva členské štáty
two
NATO,
member states of
naši
NATO,
partneri,
our partners,
mi nedovolili preletieť
did not
cez ich
allow
územie
me to
do Moskvy.
fly throughout their airspace to Russia.
Nepamätám si, že by mi niekto z
I don't
americkej
remember
administratívy
anyone
hovoril,
from the
že
US
nechoď tam.
administration to tell me, don't go there.
Keď som išiel na oslavy
When
konca druhej
I
svetovej vojny do
went
Číny,
celebration of the end of the Second World
tak som
War
bol
in China
šokovaný, ako
to the anniversary. I was
celá
shocked
Európska
how
únia
the whole
odignorovala tieto
European
oslavy,
Union
čisto z
ignored the
politických,
celebration
ideologických dôvodov.
solely based on political,
Ja som mal
ideological
1000
reasons.
dôvodov
I had
dobrých
thousands of good reasons
ísť do
to go
Číny, aj som
to
išiel.
China. And so I went there.
Potom sa mi to zdá také zvláštne,
And,
že
you know,
keď
it
sa
seems
stretnem
strange to
neformálne
me
s
when you
niektorými
meet
mojimi kolegami,
informally, like when I meet
tak
with
sa
my
ma
colleagues,
pýtajú potichu,
they
no čo ti
ask
povedal
me,
ten prezident
you know,
Putin a čo ti
whispering,
povedal
what
ten
did
prezident
Putin
Xi
tell
Jinping.
you,
My musíme
what
viesť
does
dialog.
Xi
My sa
tell
musíme
you?
rozprávať.
We have to lead a dialogue. We
Rozhovory
have to
nám
speak
vytvárajú
with each other.
priestor na získavanie
Discussions
vzácnych
create
informácií.
space to receive and get
Presne ako
valuable
nahováram
information,
teraz,
just like
musíme
now
viesť
I'm
dialog s
mentioning, we
Ruskou
have to lead
federáciou.
discussion
Musíme
with the
viesť
Russian
dialog s
Federation. We
ruským
have to lead
prezidentom
dialogue. We have to have
Vladimírom
dialogue with the
Putinom. Ak
Russian
nebudeme
President
viesť
Vladimir
dialog,
Putin. If we
tak
will
nemôžeme
not do
tvrdiť,
that,
že máme
we
záujem
cannot
ukončiť
say that we are interested
vojnový
in
konflikt, ktorý
ending
dnes
this
vidíme
military conflict
na
we see
Ukrajine.
today in Ukraine.
A takto sa dostávam k vašej
And
otázke.
now I approach your
Jednoducho,
question like in this manner.
Nie každému sa páči,
Simply
že
not everyone
sme suverénne
likes
nadviazali
that
komunikáciu,
we
pokiaľ ide o spoluprácu v jadrovej energetike.
Made cooperation
Tak
regarding
prišli
nuclear energy.
klebetí výmysly.
So then
Ja sa
they
nebudem
started
nimi ani
making things
zaoberať,
up.
pretože
And
vždy
I
to
will
tak
not
je.
even
Keď
focus on them
urobí
because it's always like
suverénna
that.
slovenská
When
vláda
a
nejaké
sovereign
rozhodnutie,
Slovak
ktoré je v súlade s
government
našou
makes a
politikou na
decision
všetky štyri
that is
svetové strany
in
a
line
niekomu
with
to
our
vadí,
sovereign
tak sa
policy,
robia prekážky.
all four corners
Vymýšľa
of the
sa,
world, they
klebetí
always
sa
do
a robí sa
obstacles,
zle.
they make things
To
up,
je
so they
odpoveď na
just
druhú časť vašej
do
otázky.
damages.
Pokiaľ ide o
That's the
prvú
answer
časť
to
vašej
the second
otázky,
part of your question.
a
Regarding
to
the
je
first part,
otázka
that's
Venezuely.
the question regarding Venezuela.
Slovensko je krajina, ktorá má
Slovakia is a
5,5
country
milióna
with
obyvateľov
5.5 million
a nedá sa
citizens.
porovnávať
We
ekonomicky
cannot compare it
s veľmocami,
economically
ktoré tu
with
dnes
superpowers,
máme.
which we have today.
A my dôsledne vychádzame,
And
pán redaktor,
we
z
base
určitých princípov. Poprvé náš princíp,
our work on
prvý je, že
principles. The
máme
first principle is
prioritne záujem na
that
mierovej
we
spolupráci.
are interested
miery.
in peaceful
Aj
cooperation.
preto mám úplne iné
in
názory
peace.
na vojnu na
Because
Ukrajine.
of
Ja
that, I have a
nepodporujem vojnu na
completely different
Ukrajine.
opinions
A naďalej tvrdím, že sú
regarding
tu
war in
niektoré
Ukraine.
členské
And I
štáty
do not support it.
Európskej
And
únie, ktoré si želajú, aby
say
vojna
that there are
pokračovala.
some member states of the EU that are interested
Chcem
in continuing the war.
súčasne
And
povedať,
I would like to
že
say
držíme
at the
sa
same
zásady
time that
nezasahovať
we're
do vnútorných
upkeeping
záležitostí
the
iných
rule
krajín.
of not interference, not to
Viete, čo je
interfere
smiešné,
in
keď
other internal matters
idem
of
navštíviť
other countries. You
Čínu,
know, it's funny when I go and visit
máme
China.
vynikajúce strategické partnerstvo
We have great strategic
a
partnership.
novinári sa ma pýtajú,
And
či som
journalists,
vytýkal
they ask
Číne
Did
spôsob
you
riadenia
mention
vnútorných vecí. Každá
Or did
krajina
you
má právo
complain
vybrať si
about how
svoju
they
cestu.
manage their
To je
internal
ďalšia
things?
zásada, ktorú
Every
sami
country
riadíme.
has the right to
Potom je
choose
to
their own
samozrejme
path.
tretia
That's
zásada,
the rule I
a
buy
to je
to. And
otázka
the third thing,
medzinárodného práva.
and that's the question
Na
regarding
niektoré veci
international
máme
law.
iný názor.
We have different opinions
Pokiaľ
on
viem, tak
certain
Spojené
matters.
štáty
As
americké
far
nie
as
sú
I know, the
signatárom
US is not a signatory
Medzinárodného
of the
trestného tribunálu. My sme.
International Court of Justice. We are.
Možno aj na iné veci máme
members.
rozdielne
Perhaps
názory,
we
ale
may
to
have
sme predsa
different
na
opinions
úvod
on other things, but
zadefinovali. Tam,
we
kde
have
máme
defined
rovnaké
it in
názory,
this very
tam
beginning.
nás to spája. Kde
We
máme rozdielne názory, poďme sa o tom
same opinions on certain
rozprávať,
matters
viesť
that unite
negociáciu a
us,
dôjsť
and
k
when we
nejakému
disagree,
záveru.
we should have
Všetky
negotiations
postoje,
and come
ktoré
to
my
a conclusion. So
formulujeme,
all
vychádzajú z
stances
týchto
we
princípov.
form
To je
are
napríklad
based on
dôvod,
such
pán kolega,
principles, and that's the reason,
prečo my
dear
sme
colleague,
doteraz neuznali
why
Kosovo.
Lebo
sme presvedčení, že Kosovo vzniklo v rozpore s medzinárodným právom. Ale nemali sme problém, tak ako sme povedali svoj názor na Venezuelu povedať v prípade vojny na Ukrajine, že použitie vojenskej sily na Ukrajine je porušením medzinárodného práva. Ja nemám inú možnosť len sa vyjadrovať na rovnaké situácie rovnakým spôsobom, ale ja absolútne oceňujem, pretože vidíme to po dlhom čase, zdravý rozum, pragmatizmus v zahraničnej politike.
That's what
Toto
has
si
been
myslím
missing.
je
And I
ten
think
najcennejší príspevok, ktorý priniesol americký prezident do zahraničnej a svetovej politiky. Zdravý rozum, pragmatizmus a nehľadíte na záujmy iných. Každý si musí predovšetkým hľadiť na svoje vlastné záujmy, národno-štátne záujmy, ale za predpokladu, že to bude viesť k mierovému spolunažívaniu jednotlivých národov a štátov.
Ďakujem pekne. Poprosím ďalšiu otázku. Televízia TA3.
Dobrý deň, Robert Zorák, TA3. My first question is for Mr. Secretary. Mr. Secretary, yesterday in Munich you said, and you repeated it basically today here, that...
Can you hold the mic up just a little bit? There
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said yesterday in Munich and as well as today that it's very important for every alliance to have all of the members very strong, and you support it. At the same time, before your visit of Bratislava and Budapest, you said that this is kind of strengthening the ties with so-called cooperative allies. Who are the non-cooperative allies from your point of view? And isn't this kind of creation of a two-tier EU or the policy of carrot and stick? Moja druhá otázka je pre pána premiéra. Včera pán minister Rubio povedal tiež, že podľa Washingtonu Rusko nemá veľmi záujem na ukončení vojny. Vy sám rád opakujete, že máte iný názor na vojnu na Ukrajine, než je všeobecne v Európe. Ako ste si vyjasnili túto otázku v rozhovoru s pánom
Yeah. I think I followed your question. Let me just briefly say, I don't know about look, I'm not going to use this press conference to attack this member of NATO or that member of NATO in terms of what they're doing or not doing with regards to the alliance. I was giving a speech about our relationship, the transatlantic alliances, they call it, which on the military front is largely built on NATO, and on the commercial and economic front is built through the European Union, and obviously to non-members of the European Union then through bilateral agreements with them. And the core point of my speech yesterday remains that our relationship to Europe as a continent, the transatlantic relationship, is not just a military alliance. It is not just a commercial alliance or a trade alliance. If it was just built on commerce and military, then this is very transactional. And it's only going to be an alliance as long as it's mutually beneficial in that regard. The point of my argument yesterday was that our transatlantic alliance, as it's been called, is built on something even more important and more enduring, and that is the ties we have as people, cultural ties, historical ties, religious ties, direct descendants in many cases, our language, etc., shared experience. And that's the point of it. And as far as, if you want to talk about NATO specific, yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a mystery. This has been something the President's talked about since his first administration as 45th President of the United States, and that is that he wants NATO to be stronger. And in order for NATO to be stronger, the member states have to be stronger. But that's the point. I think we're headed in a good path in that regard. I think we've seen a tremendous amount of progress, and we'll continue to see progress in that direction, I hope, because it makes the alliance stronger. And asking member states of NATO to be stronger is not a threat to say, well, if you're not stronger, then we're going to, it's to point out to everybody that it is a stronger alliance. We are collectively stronger when we are individually stronger on what our capabilities we bring. And every nation has a unique situation. Every nation that's a member of the coalition of NATO has, in some cases, some strategic advantages, special things that they can bring to the table that perhaps another member state cannot. That has to be taken into account as well.
Ďakujem za otázku, pán kolega. Máme
Thank you for
veľkú výhodu,
answering, dear
pretože
colleague. We have this huge
ja
benefit.
nemusím
You know,
rozmýšľať, čo
as for
poviem,
myself,
akú
I don't have to
odpoveď,
think
lebo poviem
about
to
the
isté,
answer
čo
because
hovorím
I'll
stále
just
od samého
repeat the
začiatku.
same thing I say from the
A
very beginning.
určite by to
And
mohol
I
potvrdiť aj
believe
pán
the
minister
Secretary of
zahraničnej veci,
State
čo som
will
dnes povedal.
confirm what I said today.
Európska únia
The European Union,
alebo niektoré členské štáty
some member
únie sú v
states
pasci.
of the Union are trapped.
A tá pasca je v tom,
And the trap
že
consists
čelíme
the fact that we are
bezprecedentnej kríze
facing
Európskej únie,
unprecedented
pokiaľ ide
crisis
o
of the EU
konkurencieschopnosť.
regarding their
Naozaj
competitiveness.
máme problém.
We face a
Európska
huge
únia je
problem.
ekonomicky v
The
hlbokej
EU
kríze
is economically in a
a
deep
pokiaľ si
crisis,
nepovieme, že sme
and if
prijali
we will not
nezmyselné
admit
ideologické
that we
klimatické
pass
ciele,
senseless
tak sa z tejto krízy
ideological
nikdy
climatic
nedostaneme.
goals, we
A v
will
tejto
not get
situácii,
out of
pán
this
kolega,
crisis. And in this
Je
situation, dear
veľmi ťažké
colleague,
niektorým členským
it's
štátom povedať,
quite
urobili
difficult
sme
to
chybu pri
tell
vojne na
something
Ukrajine.
to the member
Veď
states
stratégia bola veľmi
regarding
jasná.
our strategy in Ukraine. The
Už v
strategy was
apríli, 3
clear.
mesiace po
In
začiatku
April,
vojny,
3 months after the beginning
na stole
of
v
the
Istambule
conflict,
bol
the war,
pripravený dohovor, ktorý
agreement
mohol
was
vojnu
ready
ukončiť.
on the table in
A
Istanbul.
prišli niektorí západní politici,
And
predovšetkým z
the
Európy,
war
ktorí
could be
povedali,
ended. And
nesmiete
some
to
Western
urobiť.
politicians went there and
Lebo
they
si mysleli,
said you cannot
že cez túto
do this because they
stratégiu
thought that this
vojny,
strategy of
podporovania
war,
Ukrajiny,
support of
sankcií,
Ukraine,
pôžičiek
sanctions,
sa
loans,
ekonomicky a politicky Rusko oslabí.
that Russia will
Dnes
get
všetci vieme,
weakened by this
že táto
economically
stratégia
and strategically. And now everyone, we know that
Ale
it's not working out.
Krajiny, ktoré túto stratégiu
But
podporovali od samého
countries
začiatku,
which have been
nemajú odvahu sa
supporting this
priznať a
strategy
povedať,
from the very beginning
stačilo.
are not brave
Pane
enough
redaktor,
to admit this and say enough
hovorili
is
sme o
enough.
číslach, že koľko je reálne
Dear colleague,
obetí tejto vojny.
we discuss numbers
čísla sa rôznia,
victims
sú
of this
také a
war.
sú
Of
aj
course,
onaké.
there are different
Fakt je ten,
numbers, they differ. But
zoberte
the
si
fact
pero a
is
papier a
that
napíšte si to a keď
take
sa tu na
pen
konci
and
tohto
a
roka
paper and
stretneme,
write it down.
tak vás
And
budem s
when
tým
we meet at the end of
konfrontovať.
this year, I will confront you with
Európska
that
únia
number. So the EU
poskytuje teraz pôžičku
grants
90
a loan of
miliárd
90
eur
billion
pre
euros
Ukrajinu.
for
Z toho,
Ukraine.
prosím, opravte ma, je
And
60
correct me if
miliárd
I'm wrong,
na
60
zbrane
billion
a
is
30
spent
miliárd
in
má
weapons
ísť na
and 30
fungovanie
billion
Ukrajiny
is so
ako
that
také.
Ukraine can operate
Ja som hrdý,
on its own. And I'm proud
že som na
that
Európskej rade odmietol
at European
účasť
Council
na
I
tejto vojenskej
didn't want to
pôžičke.
participate in
Viete,
this
čo sa stane?
military council,
V decembri
military
budeme
loan.
všetci
We
rátať.
know what will happen in
Ďalšie
December.
100 000
We'll
mŕtvych
count more
na strane ruskej a
victims
na strane
dead, hundreds of
ukrajinskej.
thousands of
A
dead,
jediným
both
výsledkom
on
bude,
Russian and Ukrainian side. And the
že
only
Rusko
result
bude
will be
hlbšie
the fact that Russia will
v
be
území
even
Ukrajiny.
deeper
O čom je
into
celá
Ukraine
táto
territory.
stratégia?
So what's this
Čiže
whole
ja
strategy
nemením
about?
názor,
I'm not changing
som
my
presvedčený,
opinion.
že
I'm
vojna je
convinced
nezmyselná,
that this war is
že konflikt na
pointless.
Ukrajine
The
nemá
conflict
vojenské
in
riešenie,
Ukraine
nemá
has no military
vojenské
solution.
riešenie.
It
Ak
has
sa v
no
tomto
military
konflikte
solution.
bude pokračovať
And if
bez
this
záujmu
conflict will
sa
continue
rozprávať, tak
without the
výsledkom budú
interest
iba
in
100
speaking with each
000
other,
mŕtvych ľudí,
the only result will
silnejšie
be hundreds
postavenie
of
Ruskej
thousands of deaths
federácie.
and a stronger position
Pán
of
kolega,
Russian Federation.
20. sankčný balík sa pripravuje teraz.
20th
Koľko tých sankčných
sanction
balíkov
package
má
is getting
byť,
ready. How
aby
many
sa
of them
zastavil
do we
postup
need
ruskej
so that
armády?
we could
Má byť
stop
100? 150?
progress
Ja sa
of
domnievam, že
Russian army? Perhaps 100,
tak ako sme
150.
vymysleli 20
I
sankčných
believe,
balíkov,
we came up
sme
with
mali
20
vymyslieť v Európskej
sanction
únii
packages.
20 mierových iniciatív. Európska únia mala vynaložiť celé úsilie, celú energiu. Je nás skoro 500 miliónov. Ešte stále sme ekonomicky v celkom silní, hoci máme krízu. A mali sme presviečať bojujúce strany, aj Rusko a Ukrajinsku, stopnite to, zastavte to. Poďme nájsť riešenie, ktoré bude pre obidve strany priateľné. Takže nič nové som nepovedal, opakujem od samého začiatku môj postoj, ktorý je iný. Nie všetci partneri v Európskej únii so mnou súhlasia, ale ja si myslím, že je úlohou politika, ktorý sa považuje za suverénneho, že hovorí suverénne názory, ak je oni pochopiteľne presvedčený.
Ďakujem veľmi pekne. Posledná
Thank you very much.
otázka.
And the last
Bloomberg.
question, Bloomberg.
Thank you.
Remember,
Secretary,
I just did an interview with you guys. This guy gets all the exclusives. How's this? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
thank you for more of your time, Secretary Rubio.
No, thank you. That's what I'm here.
Wanted to ask you, you met in the last several days with the leaders of Greenland and Denmark in Munich. Is there agreement or acceptance from the U.S. side that the issue of ceding sovereignty of Greenland to the U.S. is no longer on the table, or that Greenland will not ultimately become part of the U.S.? And on Syria, you also met with the foreign minister in Munich. Several Republican congressional leaders have talked about serious concerns over al-Shara's ability to fulfill the conditions that you had laid out in May of 2025 and saying he's moving backwards on some of those regarding treatment of minorities, the role of foreign fighters. Do you share that assessment? And was that something you conveyed to the foreign minister? And then Prime Minister Fico, can you clarify the situation regarding oil supplies via the Druzhba pipeline? And do you have any information on why the flows have not resumed? Or can you confirm Hungary's claim that Ukraine has indeed repaired the damaged section of the pipeline, but that there is no political will from the Ukrainian side to restart that flow? And lastly, on energy, Prime Minister.
That's like 4 questions. How does the guy get 4 questions?
Just in terms of the.
You guys did a pool or something?
The energy reduction, the energy reliance dependence of Slovakia on Russia, is that something that you're willing, that Slovakia is willing to reduce or end the oil and gas imports, or to increase imports of fuels like LNG from the U.S.? Thank you both so much.
All right. I don't even remember your first question. I think it was about Greenland and Denmark, right? Okay. Yeah, we met with them. We're meeting with them. I'm not going to talk about it. I told you guys we're not going to have this thing back and forth in media and press conferences. We have a good process in place. We're engaging with them. I feel very positive and optimistic that we're on a good trajectory. In the case of Syria, actually, let me point something out. Number one, we met with the foreign minister of Syria. You know who else was there? General Muslim. They came together. The Kurdish leader was there. We put that out. I don't know why that wasn't reported. Interestingly, by the way, I read, and I knew this was going to happen. I told my people to tell you this because I knew this was going to happen. We couldn't go to a Ukraine meeting that they were having, one of the multiple Ukraine meetings that we attend. We couldn't go to one of them. And the reason why we couldn't go to that one with 4 other European countries is because we were meeting with Syria and the Kurds. I couldn't figure out a way how to be in 2 places at the same time. It's a problem many people face. You can't be in 2 places at the same time. So we met with the Syrian foreign minister and with the General Muslim on behalf of the Kurds, a historic meeting, okay, together in the same meeting. Now, let me say that no one here has ever disputed that the challenge of Syria was going to be a very significant one, okay? We are dealing with elements that, as we've said in the past, we have, concerns about things that they have done in the past. But the bottom line was we had 2 choices in Syria. Choice number 1 was to let the place fall apart into 18 different pieces, long-term civil war, instability, mass migration, playground for terrorists, ISIS running all over the place, Iran getting back in. That was choice number 1. Choice number 2 is to try to see if it was possible to work with these interim authorities and with al-Shara and with his team. Guess what? We chose number 2 because it was made sense. Now, is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be difficult? Absolutely. Is it going to have ups and downs and good days and bad days? No doubt about it. Here's the fact, okay? And I'm not saying that this tells you that we should claim victory and start a parade, but here's the fact. The fact is that when this situation erupted in the northeast of Syria, the president engaged personally, not once but twice with al-Shara, and he said, stop the fighting, so that we can move the ISIS prisoners that are there. Thousands of ISIS prisoners who, by the way, could have broken out and created havoc and chaos. Stop the fighting so that we can move these ISIS prisoners and so that we have more time to work on this reintegration, the integration of the Kurds into the national Syrian forces. And you know what? Al-Shara did it. Now, he's kept his word up to this point. Obviously, he has to keep doing that. But that's what we've been able to achieve. We've been able to at least get him to agree to do that, and that's been important because we've been able to move those prisoners into Iraq and out of harm's way so that we don't have a massive jailbreak and 4,000 or 5,000 ISIS killers running crazy all over the place and threatening us in the future. And it's given us time to work on this integration agreement, which they have agreed to between the Kurds and the Syrian authorities in Damascus. Now, you have to implement that agreement. That's not going to be easy. And there are other such agreements that they need to reach with the Druze, with the Bedouins, with the Alawis, with all the elements of a very diverse society in Syria. But we think that outcome, as difficult as it's been, is far better than a Syria that would have been broken up into 8 pieces, with all kinds of fighting going on, all kinds of mass migration. So we're very, very positive about that. And as far as members of Congress are concerned, we've worked with them on this. We've kept them informed. We've invited them to many of the meetings. In fact, Ambassador Barrack was in Washington last week briefing the congressional committees, always very blunt and very honest about the challenges involved in executing on this very difficult situation. But we think it's headed in a positive direction, even though it's been tested. There's been some difficult days. Frankly, there's been some days that have been, very concerning. But we like the trajectory. We have to keep it on that trajectory. We've got good agreements in place. The key now is implementation, and we'll be very involved in that regard. Those were my two questions, right? Okay.
Pán redaktor, dovolím si spojiť obidve
I'd
vaše
like to
otázky
join your
a
two
odpoviem
questions
naraz
together, and I'm
jednou
going to
odpoveďou.
answer with the one answer.
Keď krajiny bojujú,
When countries fight,
ako to je v prípade
just like in the
Ukrajiny,
case of Ukraine,
tak sa už nehľadí na nič.
no one
Používa
considers
sa
anything.
propaganda z
All
jednej strany,
matters
z druhej
can be
strany.
used. The propaganda is used from
A
both
tak ako
sides. And just like
Ukrajina obviňuje Ruskú
Ukraine
federáciu, že
accuses Russian
zneužíva
Federation that they're
energie,
using
ako
energies
sú
as
ropa a plyn
gas and oil to
na politické účely,
their political goals.
tak aj druhá strana zase
And also
obviňuje
the other
Ukrajinu, že
side
robí to isté.
also blames Ukraine for the very same thing.
Pán redaktor, my sme pravidelne cez Slovensko ťahali plyn,
Slovakia used
ktorý
to
išiel cez
transport
Ukrajinu
gas
na
that went
Slovensko do
through
západnej
Ukraine
Európy.
from Ukraine through Slovakia to Western
A
Europe.
zarábali sme na tom na
We
tranzitných poplatkoch
made
okolo 500 miliónov eur
around
ročne.
500 million euros per year just on
Ukrajina
transit
tým, že
fees.
tranzitovala ruský plyn
And
do
Ukraine, by
Európy, zarábala
by transit fees
na tranzitných poplatkoch
from
okolo
Russian gas,
800 až
they made
900
around
miliónov eur
from
ročne.
800 to 900 millions of
A
euros
prišlo
per year.
ideologické rozhodnutie.
And then ideological
Cez
decision was
Ukrajinu sa
made.
nebude ťahať ruský plyn,
No Russian
znamená,
gas
nebude sa
will
ťahať
go
ani
through
cez
Ukraine.
Slovensko.
So it will not
Pravdepodobne
also go
Ukrajine
through Slovakia.
tá miliarda
So
nechýba,
I
pretože
guess
dostávajú
Ukraine is not
obrovské
missing that
príjmy,
1 billion, but
obrovské
they
pôžičky. To
are getting
sú
huge loans,
100 milióny, to sú
hundreds,
miliardy. To sú
millions,
jednoducho
billions.
také sumy peňazí, o
Crazy
ktoré si
amounts
nevieme
of
ani
money. We
predstaviť.
cannot even imagine it.
Za týchto podmienok
And
chcem povedať,
In those
že
circumstances, I'd
Slovensko
like
sa
to say
správa veľmi
that
zodpovedne.
Slovakia is
Mohli by sme byť
behaving
urazení
seriously.
a mohli by sme prijať
We could
odvetné
get
opatrenia
mad
proti Ukrajine.
and
Ale my na Ukrajine nevidíme prezidenta Zelenského.
some measures against Ukraine, but we do
Nevidíme
not see
politikov. Ja tam
Zelensky
vidím
in Ukraine. We
deti,
do not see
ženy a rodiny,
politicians. We see
ktoré potrebujú prežiť ťažkú
children,
zimu.
Families that have
A
to
preto sme
survive
sa
a harsh
rozhodli, že
winter.
napriek tomu,
And
čo
because
nám
of that,
Zelenský urobil,
we decided that despite
že nás obralo 500 miliónov
Zelensky did to
eur
us,
ročne,
he took 500 million euros
dodávame
per
na
year from
Ukrajinu
us.
elektrickú energiu,
We
to sú
provide
tzv.
Ukraine with electricity.
špeciálne
Those are so-called
zásielky elektriny, keď im zlyháva energetický systém.
Provisions of electricity when
A
their
my im
electricity
dodávame, či
system
tomu
fails.
veríte alebo
And
neveríte,
believe it
aj
or
plyn.
not, we also provide them with
Napriek
gas,
tomu, že z východu na
despite
západ
the
už
fact
netečie.
that there is no flow from east to west.
Pýtate sa súčasne aj na
At the same time,
ropu,
you're
tak chcem
asking
povedať,
about
že
oil. So I would just like
je tu
to say
rozhodnutie, ktoré sa nazýva Repower
there
EU,
is a decision, so-called
ktoré
Repower
1.
EU,
novembra
and 1st November
2027
2027,
zastavuje akýkoľvek
from that
tranzit,
date,
akýkoľvek tranzit
any transit
ruského plynu
Russian
do Európy,
gas
čo nám
will be
spôsobí
stopped
obrovské ťažkosti.
from Russia to Europe. This will
Nechcem to tu
cause
teraz
great
vysvetľovať.
trouble. I don't want to get
Ale
into
ako krajina,
detail
ktorá
here.
sme boli
But
na
as a
začiatku
country
rúry, sme na konci
that
rúry.
has always been at the
Nemáme
beginning
k
of the
dispozícii
pipeline, will
prístavy
be
s
at
LNG
its end. We don't have
terminálmi. To nám
LNG
mimoriadne
terminals.
komplikuje
This
situáciu. A hovorili
greatly
sme o tom
complicates
s
our
pánom
matter.
ministrom
We spoke
zahraničných
about
vecí.
this with the Secretary of
Ja si
State.
myslím, že
And
pri
I think
povojnovom usporiadaní Ukrajiny
After when
je treba sa vážne
after
rozprávať o
war,
vlastníctve plynovodu,
decisions on
ktorý ide
Ukraine,
cez
I
Ukrajinu,
think we'll have to
aby
discuss
sa
in all seriousness the
nestal
ownership
naďalej
of this pipeline,
nástrojom pri
so it will
vydieraní
not be
jednotlivých krajín.
a blackmail instrument
Teraz k
regarding
rope
all countries.
a
And
k
now
situácii,
regarding
ktorá je
oil
v tomto okamihu.
and the current situation.
Ukrajina sa domáha členstva v Európskej
Ukraine
únii.
wants to be a member state of the
Sú
EU.
tu krajiny, ktoré nehovoria
There are
pravdu Ukrajine.
countries who are not
A sú
speaking
tu
the
krajiny,
truth
ktoré
about
hovoria
Ukraine. And
pravdu
then there are
Ukrajine.
countries which speak the
Maďarsko
truth
je
about
dlhodobo
Ukraine. Hungary,
absolútne
for a
férové
long
voči
time, has
Ukrajine,
been fair
keď hovorí,
towards Ukraine when
že nebudú
saying
súhlasiť s
they
členstvom
will not
Ukrajiny v
agree
Európskej
with
únii.
Ukraine membership to
My
the
na Slovensku
EU. In
hovoríme,
Slovakia,
že
we
môže
say
vstúpiť Ukrajina
that
do Európskej únie za
Ukraine
predpokladu,
can join
že splní
the
všetky
EU under
nevyhnutné
the assumption
podmienky.
they will meet all the
My teraz
necessary
nemôžeme
criteria.
oklamať Srbsko,
We cannot lie
nemôžeme
now
oklamať
to
Čiernu Horu,
Serbia or
nemôžeme
Montenegro
oklamať Albánsko.
or
Tieto krajiny
Albania.
sú
Those countries
stokrát lepšie pripravené na
are
vstup do Európskej únie, ako je
100 times
Ukrajina.
better prepared for accession
Ja
than
neviem, pán
Ukraine.
redaktor,
And I don't know,
kto zbombardoval ropnú infraštruktúru na Ukrajine. Ja neverím ani jednej, ani druhej strane.
I do not believe any of
Budem
those
veriť len
parties.
tomu, čo
I will
vidím na
believe
vlastné
only
oči.
what I see
Už to
with
bolo
my
toľko
own
klamstiev
eyes.
z
There has
jednej aj
been
z druhej
so
strany,
many
že
lies
nemám
from
odvahu
both
povedať, kto
parties.
zbombardoval
And
alebo
now
zničil časť
I'm not
ropnej
brave enough to
infraštruktúry.
tell who bombed this
My
oil
máme
infrastructure.
informácie, že
According to our information,
už by to malo byť opravené.
apparently it should be fixed.
Len si myslím,
But
že opäť
I
dodávky
think
ropy
that supplies of gas
zo strany Ukrajiny
of oil
smerom
from
do
Ukrainian
Maďarska
side
na Slovensko
towards
sa stali
Hungary
predmetom
and Slovakia
politického vydierania.
become
A
an
tlaku na
instrument
nás,
of
najmä na Maďarsko.
blackmail.
Tak teda
And
Maďarsko
pressure
súhlas
on
s členstvom
Slovakia
Ukrajiny
and
v
Hungary.
Európskej únii, možno prídu dodávky ropy.
And they said that
Myslím
perhaps
si, že budeme
if
mať k tomu
Hungary will
zajtra
agree with
stretnutie,
Ukraine membership to
momentálne
the EU,
dodávky
then
fungujú
maybe
všetko,
some supplies of gas.
pokiaľ ide o výrobky zo Slovnaftu, z rafinérie tu na Slovensku.
Refinery in Bratislava,
Rokujeme
everything
s
works out.
vedením
We're
tejto rafinérie,
discussing things
prijajme
with the
všetky
management
potrebné
of this
opatrenia.
refinery. Will
Myslím si,
accept
že
all
aj Slovnaft sa
necessary
správa veľmi zodpovedne v tejto
measures.
téme,
I think Slovnaft
ale to, čo sa
refinery
deje
is
dnes
also
okolo ropy,
behaving
vnímam ako politické
properly,
vydieranie
and
smerom
all
Maďarsku
those
kvôli
things regarding
nekompromisnému
oil, I
postoju
think they
Maďarska a
are just a
členstvu
part of
Ukrajiny v
political
Európskej únii.
blackmail regarding
Som veľmi
Ukrainian
otvorený a
membership to the
priamy a
EU in relation to
nedávam si v
Hungary.
týchto
I'm direct
otázkach
and
národno-štátnych záujmov
in the question
žiadne
of national
servítky pre
interests.
ústa,
I'm
pretože keď je
speaking
ohrozené Maďarsko,
what I believe.
pokiaľ ide o
I'm
ropu,
speaking my
je
mind.
ohrozené aj
And
Slovensko,
when Hungary is
pretože
threatened
všetkú
in
ropu
relation
pre
to oil,
slovenskú
Slovakia
rafinériu
is also threatened because
nakupuje Maďarsko,
all
keďže
oil Slovak
rafinéria v
refinery
Bratislave
gets
je
is
vo
bought
vlastníctve
by Hungary because
maďarskej spoločnosti,
Slovak
ktorá sa
refinery
nazýva
is owned
MOL.
by Hungarian
Ďakujem
company
veľmi
called MOL. Thank you very much.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne.
Thank you very much. This was the last question. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio.
לעשות, אתה רוצה לעשות את הפרובוקציה יותר מאשר שה...
קובי, משטרה עוזרת?
מה?
משטרה עוזרת?
אני מקווה, כי אם הם לא יעזרו זה לא ייגמר. הם האטרקציה פה של העיר היום. היית אבל בזה של המפכ"ל? מתי זה היה? יש לך מושג?
20.
אגב, הם הגיעו ברגל. צלם, צלם.
אני לא הולך אחרי, אבל כולם הולכים מתרחקים.
איפה אתה?
לא, הלכתי לכיוון המשטרה. נראה לי שהמשטרה עוזרת. איפה אתה? איפה אתה? אני הולך, איפה המשטרה? לא בצומת. תחכו, כן, כי אני הולך. נראה לי ככה, כן. לא יודע מה לעשות. זה רחוב ז'בוטינסקי, נכון? ז'בוטינסקי זה... מה נעשה? רגע, אתה יורד משתור עכשיו? אתה תלך את כל זה? אתה הולך את כל זה? תגיד לי, ז'בוטינסקי, מה המרחק? כמה רחוק?
אני ראיתי את זה למעלה. זה כזה כמו כזה עם סבא. זה רק כזו עם פלסטיק.
זוז.
המפכ"ל שם, יאללה. חזירים אתם, זה חזירים. לאן הוא רוצה ללכת? ישר, בוא, קדימה למעלה. הלאה, קדימה. סימוני!
כמה פרשים הגיעו היום, כמה פרשים. ימינה, יעבור ימינה. שהוא יעבור, הוא יעבור ימינה. עוד אחד, צריך להביא קקטוסים. צבול. היה להם גור. צבול. צבול, אבל זה ככה.
חבר'ה, תעלו למדרכה. תעלו למדרכה. ארלה, נמות ולא נתגייס, עוד לא החלטת.
יכול להתערב שיש פה הרבה שכן התגייסו.
אני בוגר חיל האוויר, כן, חרדי, חסיד. לא, זה הבעיה, שאתם חושבים שתחזרו בתשובה. כן, התגייסתי ב-2008. מה קורה? זה היה בצנחנים. התגייסתי ב-2008. הייתי בחיל האוויר. התגייסתי ב-2008. הייתי ועשה את כל הבלגן שעשה. וכולנו יצאנו, כולנו יצאנו הרבנים ומאזמורים, והייתי קיבל צו אדום, והייתי מתגייס. כן.
ניר.
כולנו יכולים לקבל רימונים בלי שיודעים מי, מה, כמה. יש פה עוד מאוד כאלה. מאוד. אני מפקד של... דבי, מקווה שרואים בכל מקום את המצאית שלי.
מה נעשה, נשאר פה? נשאר פה?
לא,
לא, השאלה איפה נעמוד.
היה כמה, ישלמו לך את זה? מה אתה מדבר? אני חטפתי 2 ברגליים. תן לנו לצלם. מה? זה לא מוצלם. אתה התחלת מה זה? תן לו את זה ליד.
מה, אתה דפוק?
שקט, שקט! שקט, הוא פגע בו, מה העניין? הכל טוב!
בוא נבדוק אותך רגע. כואב לך כרגע? כואב לך? לא, אתה יכול לבוא לצד. אתה מסוגל יזוז, זה תאונת דרכים.
תראה את המספר הרכב שלי. שפורפדת, תתקדם בבקשה לאמבולנס.
שלא יזוז.
בוא נכניס אותו לאוטו. בוא נכניס אותו רגע לאמבולנס, נבדוק אותך.
שיביא את האמבולנס לכאן. הוא לא יכול ללכת, הוא לא יכול ללכת.
על עבודה זה ברזל? זה ברזל מקדימה? לא.
הוא לא יכול לדלג, מה קרה? הוא עלה לו על הרגל, לא יכול לזוז. בוא, אתה צריך להעביר את זה למישהו כאן? לא, בוא נשים אותו.
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service.